So before Alice even looked into the refrigerator, I thought to myself, come on, DC Comics, are we really putting another woman in the refrigerator? Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach to Nerd, and in this episode we are reviewing Batwoman episode 15 entitled Off With Her Head. This episode was actually very, very good. The writing on this actually was pretty good. We finally get to see more about what happened to Alice when she was held in captivity for 11 years. Now, I made a reference in the opening of this video. It's called Women in Refrigerators. I've been saying this for years because if you've ever followed Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, he was fighting this, well, there's a villain basically named Major Force who works for this organization called the Quorum Organization. And they would like to have Kyle Rayner's newly acquired shiny new Green Lantern ring. And instead of attacking him, they send Major Force to her place to strangle her. And what he does after that is he takes her body, he says, I'm hungry, and he folds it and stuffs it into Kyle's refrigerator. So when Kyle comes, or to her refrigerator. So when Kyle comes over and opens the fridge, he finds his girlfriend. And that is exactly what happened with Alice when she opens the fridge and sees that her mother's head is in the refrigerator. And we're going to get to that. So we finally have Jacob and Kate have an honest conversation where Kate basically comes clean about Beth and Alice essentially being two different people, because Jacob was under the impression that his daughter was finally dead, released from all of her turmoil and her psychosis. She's able to be free, except she's not, because that wasn't Alice. So, long story short, this episode first revolves around Batwoman bringing August Cartwright to justice for holding her sister hostage all those years, torturing her, basically destroying her family as she sees it. And we have like a little side story with Mary and Luke where they're also investigating Beth's murder, like who killed Beth. Mary basically has Luke help her follow up on a tip from one of her patients in her underground medical facility in this junkyard where they find the car with the license plate number that the patient described. Luke was kind of doubting her, but when they finally get to the junkyard, he's like, I'm not going to doubt you anymore, and she's like, because Mary is so useful. I really need her to be on Team Batwoman. Like, seriously, guys, she's like doing most of your work for you. But yeah, long story short, they find the gun, they find the weapon in the trunk of the car because it was going to be demolished. But it links both of those link back to basically August Cartwright. And so now they know that it was Mouse's father who shot the doppelganger, nice, sweet Beth. When Kate learns of this, she didn't take it very well. And prior to that, August had already tried to kill himself. He asked for a glass of water and he breaks the glass and then slits his throat. It cuts his throat. And of course, Kate has to call Mary because Mary's the only, almost doctor she knows. And of course, Mary walks her through saving his life. Again, Team Mary. But then they start having conversations. And when he starts to talk about all his time with their Beth or Alice, he starts talking about the Queen of Hearts. And the Queen of Hearts, he starts talking about it first. He starts telling them this major story about how his mother came to live with them. And, Alice does sound refer to her as ma'am and the Queen of Hearts and that. But this woman was crazy. His mother, Mouse's grandmother, August's mother, Mabel, was crazy. She's completely obsessed with beauty and things like jewelry and fashion. And she's older, so she doesn't want to be old. And she takes out her frustrations on young Alice because she's pretty and young. And she goes so far as to burning her hands with scalding tea water because the tea was too hot. So she was abusing her for years. And while this is going on, Alice always, they would have this cream and she would need cream for her tea. And she didn't have cream, so she ran out to I guess their little workhouse or whatever their side house is that has another fridge. And there's another refrigerator right by it that has like locks on it. And every time she goes near it and August catches her, he freaks out. Well, long story short, when she's finally able to open this refrigerator, it is revealed that her mother's head is in the fridge. And why she goes there is because at the beginning of this episode, it's a flashback to when the twins were young, right before the car accident, because it happens on their birthday. The mother gives them matching necklaces that match the mother's earrings. And she gives them this sweet little speech about passion and pride and going after what you want in life. It's very cool. Their mother's very sweet. But it's how she can stay connected to her twins, basically. And they're all connected to each other. Well, Mabel's like, has the earrings on, and she's like looking in the mirror, and Alice is like, where did you get those? Because she recognizes them. And when she recognized the earrings, she remembered why she had that necklace and where she got the necklace from. Because remember, to survive, she had to become Alice, the character from the only book she was allowed to read when she was in captivity, Alice in Wonderland. So she forgot why she had the necklace. But when she saw those earrings in Mabel's ears, and Mabel said they were a gift from my son, it came back to her that, hey, those were her her mother's earrings. And she got the necklace from her mom. So she goes back to the fridge because at that point she had to have a suspicion. She had to. But when she opened the refrigerator, her mom's head was sitting there. And apparently August had intended to pacify his mother by giving Alice and Kate's mother's face to her to wear, so she'd be young and beautiful again. And Alice snapped, and that's why she made a homemade flamethrower and set her and the entire house on fire. But it does explain now the level of psychosis that Alice is, because not only is she being held in the room with no communication to the outside world, made to believe her family gave up on her, moved on with their lives. The little kitten she got taken and killed in front of her. She wasn't allowed to have anything really except for sit there and help stitch faces together because her fingers were nimble. And she was abused by this woman. And then you're going to show her mother's head in the fridge? Of course she's going to snap. I'd snap. But what's interesting about this episode is that Kate snapped. Because the combination of all the abuse her twin went through and how she lost her sister, her family was destroyed, her mother is dead, she was felt all alone and believed her twin was alive and nobody believed her, and it's just been such a cornucopia of crap in Kate's life. And then you mean to tell me the one sister she bonded with, the doppelganger, was killed by the same man that tortured her other sister, and you had Mama's head in the fridge? Of course she's gonna snap. And Kate kills August, which is what Alice planned for her to do the entire time. It's why Alice didn't kill him. But another part of the side story is, while all that happened with Kate, Alice went back to the Queen of Hearts house to save Mouse, because that's where August said Mouse was. But what he didn't tell her is that he had put a mask on Mouse's face and was giving him the Scarecrow's fear toxin. And so all of those fears that Mouse had were all rampantly driving him insane. So he attacks Alice, chains her up, puts her to the chair, convinced that she's the problem of his life, and then puts the fear toxin on her. And then that's when you really start seeing all the flashbacks of just how much she was tortured. And you see her deepest fears being abandoned and being imprisoned. And Jacob actually comes and saves her. Instead of going and killing Alice, he saves her. He stops her from killing herself, which was kind of like a step forward in their relationship. Though I know it's not going to last because Alice is crazy. But yeah, it's almost, they had a little bit of a bonding moment. It was not the leader of the Crows and a psychopath killer. It was a father and daughter. So that was really cool. But again, it's not going to last. And as a matter of fact, when they get back and they realize that Kate has killed this man and they try to save him, they try to do CPR, and he's dead. And they end up burying August's, his body. Alice just says, well, Daddy has it filled to have two daughters who are killers. So yeah, this episode was crazy. It was crazy, but I actually enjoyed it because we actually got more of the major plot of this story. We have the family, we have, you know, the past, what happened with Alice. We have more backstory with Alice. Instead of us having like a villain of the week or antagonist of the week, we actually got more to the core of what's going on in Batwoman. So I really did like that. I don't know how the next episode is going to be. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm about to. So I'll be doing that review soon. And I don't know. I think that if they keep up this pace, because I was, again, with 14, it was more of a Sophie, Kate love story episode. This was more of the beef of the story. And the next title, I believe, is called Through the Looking Glass. So this should probably be a lot more intense than this one. And this one was pretty intense. So I actually dig this episode. So I think that they're going in a good direction, and we'll see if they can keep that pace up to the finale. But that is what I think. I just want to know what you guys think, so leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the Nerd Ballot, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.